The video of this event has gone mega viral, and people, I think, have finally had enough. There was a jazz festival over the weekend, and video has surfaced of about 20 youths absolutely pummeling a middle-aged white couple for no reason. There is simply no reason for what, I'm sure we're going to hear a couple of them say that they said the word, even though I'm sure they didn't. And even if they did, it won't justify. But people have had enough of this. I don't know how much of the actual brawl video I can show because it is so bad. But I can tell you that it's like 15 youths just pummeling this old couple, hitting them while they're on the ground, kicking them in the head when they're on the ground, sucker punching them. Why? Well, because we've allowed this behavior for too long as a society. There's nobody wants to be around these people. If you look at a lot of the people that grow up in these communities, what's the first thing they do when they get a little bit of money? They move away from them, right? We're not talking about hashtag, obviously hashtag not all. We're talking about inner city African Americans who behave like this. There were, for 3 days, zero, and I mean zero, articles about this. This is our Floyd moment. We'll see if anybody gives a damn or does anything about it. If there'll be marching in the street, there won't be. New video shows a third person on the receiving end of a black mob. I didn't raise my dog that way. I just it happened that he started to bark when I said that word. Being at a Cincinnati Jazz Festival, brutally attacked for no reason. The legacy media completely silent because they want to pretend black on white crime is non-existent. Look at this. This guy's just walking. Look at that. He just knocked him out cold. He wasn't even paying attention. Some old man. And then here's a black woman kicking him while he's down. I mean, and the guy filming's a piece of human garbage. I mean, everybody, are they stealing us? Or they're dragging him out into the street? Why? Karma? What? Use white around black people. That's what. And look at every one of them has their phone up. By the way, everybody in this frame is black. Okay? And I don't think that most black people think that this is okay. I don't. I just think that legacy media ignores it. The only article that I could find, by the way, there was a worse incident too that we can look at. A white couple pummeled by a group of black folks at a jazz festival. The only person reporting on it over the entire weekend was the Hindustan Times. Cincinnati police have said that they're investigating the attacks that broke out downtown, leaving at least 2 injured. The race of the victims has not been disclosed outright, but of course they're white people. And the ones doling out all the pain appear to be a group of black people. Some posts on X have called the attack racially motivated. I don't know. Just because a white guy gets in a fight with a black guy, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's racially motivated. But, I haven't heard them say anything about it. But, I mean, it sure seems like it. They're in the wrong side of town, right? They were just at a jazz festival, right? They're not allowed to go downtown, and they're not allowed to be around inner city black folks without getting pummeled. That's apparently the rule here, in my opinion. Republicans have already raised concerns about the law and order in the state over the attack. Here's what happened. The attack took place at the intersection of West 4th and Elm Street. In the footage, a man whose identity remains unknown can be seen getting repeatedly hit and kicked in the head by many people, all black. He's white, by the way. He goes to the ground, but the attack continues, of course, because this is what happens. When he tries standing up, the attackers appear to pause. He falls over in apparent disorientation. Later in the video, a woman is seen sneaking up on another woman who had gone to for committing the crime of trying to check on the man. And that, while she grabs at this person, another man punches this poor woman and who had gone to check on the fallen man. The punch seems to knock her out unconscious as she falls to the street. A black man pummeling a white woman, elderly woman, in her late 40s or 50s. Not elderly, but older white woman. It remains unclear if the man and woman were related, and what the video does not show is the events leading up to the event. I don't care what happened before this. There's nothing that could have happened before this unless they caught these two with like a kid. Of course, their lazy police chief, Terry Thitige, said in a statement, "I'm in complete disgust waking up to this viral video that many of you have seen. This behavior is displayed as nothing short of cruel and absolutely unacceptable. Our investigative team is working diligently to identify every individual causing harm. It's also important to clarify this was a sudden dispute between individuals following a verbal altercation." So there were words exchanged, and that's their justification for causing this woman, like, you know, potentially giving her potentially brain damage. They said there was a verbal altercation, and so they had to give the woman brain damage. That's what it looks like to me, right? That's their justification. Gotta attack. You know, and then you gotta kick them while they're on the ground. You gotta bash their head into the concrete. That's normal behavior for one group of people. You don't see any other groups of people doing this. You just don't. So what are we going to do about it? Their own community won't police it. Their law enforcement won't police it. They won't put these people in jail. Now, in this case, because the idiots uploaded it, maybe we'll get some justice. Maybe. It was not connected in any way to the music fest. Sure. If you have any information, yeah, I'm sure a bunch of those people in that group are going to rat each other out. The Cincinnati Fraternal Order of Police, the cops union, also condemned the incident, saying that the attack on the video was downright disgusting. What's equally disgusting is those who sat and watched and recorded instead of calling 911, attempting to defuse the situation or render aid. I have full faith in the Central Business Section investigators. They won't. This is very common. This happens all the time. Here's like, you know, again, they have, I won't show this other video because it's also very, very bad, but they're just old white people laying on the ground getting pummeled. That's what it is. You want to consume that content? It's all over X. Elon Musk joined, this is another couple, same day, by the way, also for the crime of being white. Elon Musk joined the outpouring of outrage after a man and a woman were pummeled to a pulp by an unruly mob after an Ohio jazz festival. They were attacked Friday night in downtown Cincinnati after being swarmed by a crowd of all black people, by the way. Again, the news will not talk about this. And again, I have black friends, I have black viewers, and I'm sure they're just as disgusted. But what are we doing? What are we doing? The politicians aren't holding these people accountable. Local police are all obese old women. They're not stopping this. The only reason that these people are going to see any arrests possibly is because it went viral on the internet. Do we have to count on that every time? A man in a white t-shirt apparently shoved to the ground by two other men. A white old man was shoved to the ground by two young black men, repeatedly pummeled as other members of the crowd jeer and join in, because that's what... I'm being careful how I describe this behavior, but I can't think of another way to describe it. The group batters the man for nearly a minute as he lays in the middle of the street, seemingly stepping on his head multiple times. When the barrage of attacks temporarily stops, one attacker yelled out, "My man's drunk." Yeah, even if he was drunk. Again, punch drunk, you guys were pummeling him in the head. A woman in a black dress rushes to his aid, but then she gets attacked. Again, a white woman tries to help him out. She gets pummeled. Elon Musk, why zero stories? Zero stories on the AP, zero stories on Fox News, zero PBS News stories, zero New York Times stories, zero NPR stories. You know, again, some users suggested that maybe there just weren't enough reporters working over the weekend to cover the story. Others simply raised concern for the victims. It's really concerning. This should be on every news story for weeks. These poor people, one wrote. So scary, echoed another. Sorry to disappoint you, Elon Musk. but the lady who is knocked down, might not serve the purpose you're seeking. She was knocked out by a fella of the same skin color, since you are trying to make this about race. That's not how it looked. That's not how it looked. You know, the carnage left at least 2 people, the unidentified male and female victim, injured. A Good Samaritan rushed them to a local hospital. In the aftermath, their conditions remain unclear as cops work to identify and arrest all those involved. They won't arrest them. And if they do, they'll let them out the same day, because this is Democrat trash city. You know, to anybody, black, white, or any color, get out of the cities if you can. You know, if you don't want to be around these types of groups of youths, just stay out of the cities. This stuff doesn't happen in the suburbs. It happens downtown, in the cities, in particular with alcohol's involved. You can probably avoid this if you avoid any major metro area. You know, you stay away from bars where large groups of youths are getting intoxicated and doing this kind of stuff. You know, you see the man in the white shirt appears to be talking with the group when he suddenly slaps a man in the red shirt. It also shows another man being targeted by the unruly mob, both white, of course. You know, there's not a single arrest in this. Like, my fatigue levels are at a maximum right now. Now, finally, Newsweek covered it. You know, you have nobody I mean, they're just pummeling these people on the ground. Again, the incident took place at 3 a.m. I'm sure everybody around here was drunk. Okay. But this is disgusting behavior. Every one of these people should be in jail. Looks like a race hate crime. Could be. Somebody wrote, I wonder what the U.S. would be like without any of those people. Look, I think that there are a lot of people of all colors that are outraged by this, but my fatigue levels are at a max, and I don't know how to fix it. I'm declaring defeat. Like, literally, black, white, or any color. Just stay out of downtowns late at night, period. Don't be around the bars. Don't be around anywhere where there's large groups of people who've been consuming alcohol in the big city. Like, that's the only realistic solution here. Because the police won't save you. The prosecutors won't save you. The politicians won't save you when there's 15 people mercilessly pummeling you while you're on the ground. Okay? Just don't be around. Don't put yourself in these situations. And that's the only answer. Because nobody's going to help us. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like on it. If you haven't yet, please subscribe or follow down below, and we'll talk to you again real soon.